After my intro video, I wanted to kick off with something I felt was very important for everyone. Not the most exciting topic, but probably one of the most important. People always ask me, what supplement should I take? And my answer is always the same. What are you deficient in? It's no secret I'm a food guy first and foremost. And while supplements can play a role, it's necessary to know what you're deficient in. And that's the topic of today's video. Get a blood test. I ask everyone I train to get a blood test. There's absolutely no way to know for sure what deficiencies need to be addressed unless you have a blood test. I've been getting blood tests for over 20 years as an integral part of my training. And for the last 10 years of my competitive career, I've been getting them almost monthly, and I still get them quarterly now that I don't compete. I use them not only to improve performance, but to monitor my health and allow me to make informed decisions about what foods I eat and what supplements I take. It's amazing how much can be learned from a comprehensive blood panel. And I believe it's even more important for natural athletes than it is for those using performance-enhancing drugs. For instance, are you hormone deficient? Testosterone, estrogen, thyroid, insulin, DHEA? How do you know? Lots of people get a routine cholesterol screening, but there's a much better indicator of a future cardiac event called a C-reactive protein test, which measures chronic inflammation in the body. Where's yours at? Are you low in vitamin D or B vitamins? If you exercise regularly, taking a multivitamin may not come anywhere close to satisfying your body's requirements. How about iron? Athletes go to train at the Olympic Training Center in Denver, Colorado. They get a blood test. And it's been reported that 50% of the men are low in iron and 65% of the women are low in iron. Are you low in iron? Are you high in iron? And how do you know? And what about your blood sugars? Are you possibly going to become a type 2 diabetic? There might be a reason why you're sucking down a gallon of coffee a day or getting a carb coma from a bagel. You may be insulin resistant. And how do you know? You need a hemoglobin A1C test to find out. And how about your liver and your kidneys? A blood test can measure your AST, ALT, BUN, and creatinine levels, which can be affected by your diet and training, your supplements, prescription medication, recreational drugs and alcohol, or even performance-enhancing drugs. And the only way to know is to get a blood test. Now, I'm a big fan of eating clean, but oftentimes when people go on diets, they limit the variety of foods that they eat. They avoid processed foods, which is great, except for the fact that many of those foods are fortified with vitamins and minerals that they may not otherwise be getting. And most of the time when people go on diets, they substantially restrict calories, which can lead to deficiencies if they don't get those nutrients somewhere in their diet. Now, a blood test can make you aware of those deficiencies so you can address them. Now, I think getting a blood test should be easy and convenient and affordable, but like most other things in the health industry, it can be confusing and difficult. And without insurance, it can be expensive, and with insurance, many of the tests might not even be covered, or your practitioner might not even ask for those tests. Over the last 25 years, I've visited with and spoken to dozens of different doctors, either as a patient or through seminars and clinics, or as well as many personal conversations. And many specialize in different areas of medicine. And as you'd expect, or you've probably experienced yourself, I've received a lot of different opinions along the way. It's kind of a mixed bag. Some are very knowledgeable and others not so much. For the last 10 years, I've been ordering my own blood tests. And if you already have a good relationship with your doctor, or if your insurance doesn't cover a comprehensive blood test, or if you just prefer the convenience and control of your own blood work, then you can order your own tests like I do. I order my tests online through privatemdlabs.com. They email me a form, I print it out, and I take it to the nearest LabCorp and they draw my blood. And then in 3 days, they email me my results. Now, to help with the costs, I contacted Private MD Labs and I told them I was going to be releasing this video series about blood tests, and I requested a discount for those people listening to the videos. So now you can go to my website at stanefferding.com and you can click on blood tests and you'll be taken directly to the Private MD Labs site. Enter RHINO as a discount code and you get 15% off. Now, they offer lots of different tests, so to start out, get a comprehensive test. And you can order smaller tests for follow-ups that just focus on the areas where you've identified a problem. Now, I order the male athletic anti-aging panel, and I add a vitamin D test to it. And they also have a female ultimate anti-aging panel for women. Now, since I've been getting blood tests for years, and I've consulted with many doctors about the tests, I've studied them in great detail, so I'm very familiar with the results. And the tests will clearly indicate whether you're high or low compared to the normal range, so you'll already know what you have to address. And you can discuss these areas with your doctor so you can become familiar with those things and find out how to go about addressing those problem areas. Now, I'll go into greater detail in future videos about the tests that I think are most important. But the purpose of this video is just to stress how important a blood test is and how easily you can get it done right now. So you can call your doctor, or you can go to my site and get a test done, and then use this information to answer your own question. What should I take? Without any guesswork or wasted money on supplements you may not even need. Now, I've always said my performance was less about what I did inside the gym and more about what I did outside the gym that made me successful. And getting a blood test and optimizing my diet and supplementation based on the results of these tests is one of the things I did outside the gym that I feel made a huge difference. And every time I identified a problem and fixed it, my performance improved. So get a blood test. Done preaching, that's my rant, and as always, thanks for listening.